everybody, my name is Mr. Francy and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Okay, so today we are continuing on with my favourites and least favourites for the first half of 2023, and today I'm doing my favourite series. This is always interesting to do because I give you my top 10 favourite series every time I do this, but it is mathematically done. There's an equation to the madness. Rather than me just picking and choosing and saying, I want this one or that one or that one, there is a method to this madness. And so let me tell you what that method is so you're all aware. What I do is I do an equation, a mathematic equation. And what that equation is I take the total amount of star ratings that I've given every single book in that series and divide it by the total amount of star ratings that I could have given, the most amount of star ratings I could have given that series, and then times that by 100, which gives me a percentage, and then overall, that tells me where my series have been placed. And you know what? Considering that I didn't decide on a whim, this one goes here, this one goes there, I'm not actually arguing with the results. I'm actually quite proud. So let's jump right on in. Before we do, I do need to let you know that 9 of the 10 series have been completed, but there is one series that has not been completed. I added it because it would feel odd to me to have a top 9 rather than a top 10. So a wild card went to one of those series, and that series still didn't come in 10th place. So you'll know which one it is when we get to it. Let's jump right on in. Coming in at 10th place is the blessed Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. Okay, so book number 1 received 4 stars, book 2 received 4 stars, book 3 received 0 stars because I actually DNF'd it for a total of 8 out of 15 stars, which gives a total of 53.3%. Yeah, look, it makes sense. I mean, all of this makes sense, but anyway, it makes sense to me that Infernal Devices would come in 10th place, aka last, because it's a trilogy. I DNF'd the last book. Overall, I did not enjoy this series. It was a struggle for me to get through. There's not a lot to say. Look, if you have read any of the Cassandra Clare books from the Shadowhunters universe and you want to expand upon that universe, then going down the Infernal Devices trilogy path may be the right way for you. It just didn't work for me. I had come into this series having already read the Mortal Instruments series, and having come off that series, this one, Infernal Devices, let me down. So, yeah. I might actually recommend that you read Infernal Devices first, and then read Mortal Instruments. Let's move on. Coming in at number 9 is the Magic Garden Mystery Series by Amanda Flower. I gave book 1 5 stars, book 2 4 stars, and book 3 2 stars, coming in for a total of 73.3%. Yeah, I mean, just saying, yeah, it kind of sums up the series for me. I mean, book 1 was a great start. It really was. It deserved the 5 stars it got. Book 2 was good. I just felt like it could have gone a bit further. And book 3 just was an absolute letdown for me. I have said this many times, so I'll just say it briefly here in case you've missed me saying it before now. I love Amanda Flower as an author, so I hold nothing against her for the series, and the reason why I picked up this series was because I want to read every single work that Amanda Flower has written. Coming from that angle, do I regret having read the Magic Mystery Series? No. Magic Garden Mystery Series? No, not at all, because I can now cross it off my to-be-read Amanda Flower books list. But it just didn't work for me overall. I think the cozy side was good. I loved exploring flowers as a cozy subject. But, yeah, it's called the Magic Garden Mystery Series. If you want to see more, check out my CSL Magic Garden Mystery Series video, where I go into a deep dive on why I had issues with this series. But yeah, it came in at number 9. Let's move forward. Coming in at number 8, oh boy, it deserves to be there, is the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy, which is by Jenny Han. I had to think for a moment there. I'm not holding the books right now, by Jenny Han. Yeah, so this is a YA male-female romance trilogy. I wanted to read a romance series this year, so I picked this one. It was an up and down ride for me, really. I gave book 1 4 stars, book 2 4.5 stars, book 3 3 stars, for a total of 11.5 out of 15, which works out to be 76.7%. Yeah, look, book 3 really let me down. I'm actually very surprised I gave book 3 3 stars, because thinking back on it, actually no, thinking about it now, that it's been a little while between me reading that book and now, I think upon reread it'll probably get a 2-star rating from me. But anyway, it is what it is, and that 1 star really made all the difference and put it in 8th place rather than 9th. Yeah, it's okay. The protagonist, Lara Jean, starts off as immature in book 1 in the first half. I enjoyed the second half of book 1. I loved book 2, and book 3 just, I don't get why book 3 was published. I felt like Jenny Han was running with a premise that we would need to be able to follow up on to come full circle, but she knew that we wouldn't be able to follow up on it, and yet she went there anyway. So it felt incomplete, and to me, it just didn't work for me. I wish that she had come up with something else, for the main theme of book number 3. If you've read book number 3, you know what I'm referring to. If you don't, feel free to check out my CSL video on the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy, because again, I go into a deep dive, as to my thoughts and feelings on that one over there. In fact, all of these, except for the Wildcard series, have their own CSL video where I spent a lot of time going into a lot of detail on them. So if you want to see more as to why I felt a certain way, you can certainly do that, by checking out their own individual videos. But, that one came in 8th place. Coming in at number 7 is the Amina's voice duology. I nearly said Amina again. Amina's voice duology. Okay, so I gave book 1 3 stars and book 2 5 stars, for a total of 8 out of 10, which is 80%. And yeah, look, book 1 was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't horrible, but I loved book 2. Book 2 gave me everything I wanted and more. And if, whatever the author's name is, that is just horrible. What is the author's name? My apologies. Henna Khan is the author's name. If Henna Khan brings out a 3rd book in the series, then I definitely want to read it, because I felt like it got better as it went along. Yeah, not really much else to say. Let's move on to number 6. Coming in at number 6 is Personal Demons, the trilogy. So I gave book 1 3 stars, book 2 4 stars, book 3 5 stars, for a total of 12 out of 15, which is equal to 80%. So this one technically came equal with Amina's voice, but I decided to use my own powers, the powers that I have that have vested in me to, put Amina's voice ahead of To All the Boys I Know, to put Personal Demons ahead of Amina's voice. Okay, so, long story short, we are following a girl whose name is Franny Kavanagh, who is human. God sends an angel down, hell sends a demon up, and both sides are trying to tag Franny Kavanagh for them, because there is an upcoming war that's going to take place between heaven and hell, and apparently Franny Kavanagh is the key. So yeah, we follow that storyline to its conclusion. Yeah, so I gave, book 1 is actually the first book that I completed on my channel. So shout out to that one. And I started my channel in January of 2020. Book 1 was the first book that I read on this channel. Book 3, I finished this year. It took me 3 years to read 3 books and wrap up a series, but that's nothing against the series at all. It was just, I either kept forgetting about the series or I just had too many books on my TBR. I couldn't find a place to fit it in. It just was what it was. But, it had a slow start for me, the series as a whole, but it ended really, really well. So, yeah. I do recommend it. If you like YA fantasy and the idea of a representative from heaven and a representative from hell trying to tag a human for an upcoming war between the two, I think you'll enjoy it. I did. And that's why it came in 6th place. Coming in at number 5 is the Wildcard series. So I have not finished this series and yet it still came in 5th place, which is pretty awesome. And that is the Haley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery Series. Okay. So I have read the first 7. I'm just counting. No, I've now read 8. But I'm not including book 8 in this list, so forgive me. I did read book 8 in June, but I compiled this list before I finished book 8. Book 8 received 5 stars from me, by the way, so it probably would have been elevated higher had I included book 8. But anyway, I gave book 1 5 stars, book 2 5 stars, book 3 5 stars, book 4 3 stars, book 5 4.5 stars, book 6 3 stars, and book 7 5 stars, for a total of 30.5 out of 35, which is a total of 87.1%. So it's a cozy mystery series where we follow Haley Powell, who is a columnist who writes a column about something that she's experienced in her day-to-day life and then finds a way to connect that to 2 recipes, one being a cocktail and one being a food recipe, which I love. And Haley Powell just so happens to be an amateur sleuth who's trying to solve all these mysteries in every single book. Yeah, I really love the series. It has kind of been a bit of an up and down journey for me. I enjoyed the first 3 books a lot, and then things really went downhill for me with book 4. Something happened that I just did not like at all, and I was considering DNFing the series as a whole, but I went on to read book 5 and felt that it bounced back a little bit. Book 6, it was middle of the road for me. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't horrible. It was just middle of the road. And, book 7 was, I think, kind of the same deal. No, book 7 I loved. I do apologize. Book 7 was great. Anyway, so there we go. Coming in at number 5, Haley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery Series. Now, let it be known far and wide that the series coming in 4th, 3rd, and 2nd place all received the exact same percentage result. So by the powers vested in me, I had to determine which one would get silver, which one would get bronze, and which one would just miss out on a medal placing. It was not easy for me to do because I love all of these series, so take the rankings with a grain of salt. But coming in at number 4 is The Eldest Curses duology by Cassandra Clare, which is a massive jump from Cassandra Clare's other series that came in 10th place. So this duology features 2 books, obviously being a duology. Book 1 received 5 stars, book 2 received 4 stars, for a total of 90%. This duology features my 2 favorite characters from the Mortal Instruments series, Alec and Magnus, who are the protagonists in this particular duology, and I think that's what really helped me to like it. Book 1, I had a few gripes with, but I don't necessarily think they're fair gripes. I think had I read it again, I probably would have given it 5 stars. It is a fantasy, and I think I wanted it to be a romance, and the problem was anytime that something romantic looked like it was going to occur, something fantastical would jump in the way and stop something romantic from happening, and that just really annoyed me. But it is a fantasy series, so I shouldn't be annoyed by that. It's just a personal thing. But yeah, book 1 4 stars, book 2 5 stars. Really enjoyed the second one. Characters from the New York Institute of the Shadowhunters came in that we know and love from the Mortal Instruments series, came into the second book, so I really appreciated having them back there. And yeah, all in all, fantastic series. I do highly recommend it. If you love Malik, which is the ship name for Alec and Magnus, I highly recommend that duology. But that one did miss out on a medal, so which ones got which medals? Coming in third place and receiving the bronze medal for my third favourite series for the first half of the year goes to the What If It's Us duology by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. So I gave book 1 4 stars and book 2 5 stars, again for a total of 90%. I read book 1 last year, I read book 2 this year to complete the duology. It is just a really, really good male contemporary romance series. We follow these two boys who have a meet cute at the beginning of book 1, and then they part without exchanging any information. Eventually they find each other and they go through a lot of different things, which I thought was just really fantastic. Anytime Adam Silvera's name is connected to some sort of a male contemporary, I definitely want to read it because the guy is an absolute gem when it comes to hard-hitting contemporaries. Becky Albertalli's relationship with me has been kind of up and down, so I didn't know what to expect from her, but she did a great job. The series was wonderful overall, and it definitely deserved the bronze medal. So if you're looking for a good male contemporary duology, I highly recommend the What If It's Us duology. Coming in at number 2 and receiving the silver medal is the A Friend for Hire mystery series duology by Laura Bradford. I had to think there. As I said, I'm not holding the books right now. Laura Bradford. So this is an adult cozy mystery duology, and it is extremely cozy. So I've read a number of different cozies in my reading life, and they range from some being really gritty, some being standard, but this series is extremely cozy. The cozy side follows our protagonist, who ends up basically putting herself out there as a friend for hire. She makes her money by doing things with people who don't have friends that want to do friend things together. And I can't think of anything more cozy as a setup for a cozy mystery series. I really, really enjoyed it. 4 stars for book 1. 5 stars for book 2. The only reason book 1 received 4 stars from me was because I felt that the mystery, which did not interest me, detracted from the cozy side of the book that I was loving so much. So it really was an emotional deduction of that 1 star there, but very deserving of the gold medal. If you're looking for an extremely cozy mystery duology, I highly recommend Friend for Hire. Now, I said to you all at the beginning of this video, this is mathematically done. There is no way to cheat the system with this one. It's an equation, so it is mathematics that determine the rankings and not me. We'll just let go of the fact that I gave the star ratings that I gave, but it's mathematics and not me making the placements, and yet still I agree with number 1. I was so happy when I found out this series had become number 1, because I thought even if there was no mathematics involved, it would become number 1. So I'm so happy that I can stand behind it and say, it wasn't me, I didn't cheat the system, it just worked out this way mathematically. Coming in at number 1 and receiving the gold medal, and absolutely deserving the gold medal, is the Damien Verse Quartet, which is by Ian Rob Wright. Okay, so this is an adult horror quartet, and even though it is a series, each book in this series can be read as a standalone. I gave book 1 4.5 stars, book 2 4 stars, book 3 5 stars, and book 4 an overwhelming 5 stars, for a total of 18.5 out of 20, which is 92.5%. It was a very solid series for me. I'm not going to say much because everyone has different tastes when it comes to any genre, but certainly has different tastes when it comes to horror. Some readers choosing not to read horror at all, some just wanting to really skim the surface with horror, others who like a medium approach to horror, and others like me who love when you pick up a horror and it's an actual horror. If you are like me and you want to pick up a horror that is extremely horrific, please do yourself a favor and pick up an Ian Rob Wright book. You will not be disappointed. Every single one of these books were completely different, and I do have different enjoyment levels for each one of the books, but one thing that they all had in common is that they are all horrific in their own way, but also that all of them have reveals that knocked my socks off. Ian Rob Wright has very quickly become an auto-buy author for me. And even though I've finished this series now, he has written a ton of standalones, and I plan to read as many as possible as soon as I possibly can. And in July, I'm reading Escape by Ian Rob Wright, because Ian Rob Wright actually recommended Escape to me. I wrote to Ian Rob Wright after I read the first book in this series, which my first book in this series was book 4, The Housemates. And Ian Rob Wright came back to me and said that he recommended I read Escape as my next one. So I'm really happy to not only be reading another Ian Rob Wright, but to be reading an Ian Rob Wright that Ian Rob Wright recommended for me. And that one's about an escape room. So really, really happy about that. But yeah, if you're looking for a horror that's going to knock your socks off, and if for whatever reason, the Lord of Horror, Stephen King, is not working for you, like with me, because really it's few and far between. I liked Misery, but otherwise I really haven't liked a lot of his stuff at all. Then try Ian Rob Wright. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. There is no denying, no questioning that Ian Rob Wright's books are horrors, because they absolutely are. And that is why Ian Rob Wright's series, The Damien vs. Quartet, absolutely deserves the gold medal it has received. But there you go. There are my top 10 completed, with the exception of the wildcard for the Hayley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery series listed from 10th to 1st that were my favourites for the first half of 2023. What were some of your favourite series that you've read or started in the first half of 2023? Let me know in the comments section below. We have so many more favourites and non-favourites coming up, everyone, so keep an eye out for them. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. It really does help the channel, and hit the bell. Ding! Tap on all so that you get all the notifications and you are notified each and every time I upload a new video. But until next time, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye everyone.